Hi, everybody. I'm Raquel, and I'm the social media officer here at UTSA Content Creators. And today we're going to talk about Instagram. We're going to talk about the algorithm, what works, and we're actually going to do a little bit of a brand analysis as well. So we're going to look at an account and a brand that has been really successful at specifically Instagram marketing. So we're going to take a look at what they did and learn from that and see what we can apply to our accounts. Me and Eric worked on this, so we're going to talk to you guys about it today. So, to start us off, it's not really about luck. It's strategy, right? So when you're creating your content, you have to really think it through rather than just posting whatever. You have to see what works and keep working with that and keep developing it over time. So I know I have this question here. How many of you have posted something you thought would do well and it flopped? I know I've done this many times. It feels like sometimes you work so hard on one video and you put it out there, you spend hours editing it, and it just doesn't do good. But the one that you didn't really think about does really well, right? So we're gonna kind of talk about what that might be. Maybe your strategy isn't like fully I guess targeting the right thing. You might think it is, but you have to reevaluate sometimes. And Instagram, it doesn't hate you just because one video flopped. You just have to understand what it's rewarding. So you have to understand what works so you can apply that to your content. What the algorithm actually wants. So this is essential, right? You have to think about what the goal of Instagram is. What does Instagram want? They want people to stay on their app for as long as possible. So, because of that, Instagram is going to prioritize these things. Watch time, of course, because that means people are staying on the app long enough to keep watching content. Shares, which means that they're sharing the content with their friends, which means that them and their peers are going to be on the app looking at that content for a little bit longer, sharing it with their friends, because that's always fun to do. And then saves, this is also really important because people are going to save it for later. So they're going to come back to the app. And when they save something, it's giving them a reason to come back. And then comments, that's showing engagement. When you're commenting and you're actively engaging with content, not just consuming it, not just watching it, you feel a little bit more of a connection with the content and with the app in general because you associate that app with being able to participate in something. And then DMs as well, same thing. You're just building relationships within the app. That's going to keep you coming back always, and just overall relationship strength. So actually like having other accounts that you interact with all the time, that kind of thing. If they're seeing that this account is active and there's a bunch of watch time on there, shares are happening, just overall engagement with the account, then they're automatically going to prioritize and push out your content. Okay, three types of content you should be using. So again, this is for Instagram. Reels. So short form is taking over Instagram at the moment. It started off with TikTok, then they moved over to YouTube Shorts. Like all of the big platforms are incorporating short form in some kind of way. So Instagram has been really successful at this, actually. That's really essential for building an audience, right? Because you're sharing the reels with your friends, all that kind of stuff. I feel like the short form is really easy to consume, so it's a lot more shareable than long form content or like just a picture. And then also having that hook and retention is really important. The longer they're watching for and the more they're sharing, the better. Carousels are also really important, especially if you're a brand or you're trying to post like informational content or like step by step, like educational type of stuff. It builds trust with your audience because a lot of the times you are using it to like give out information. And by you kind of establishing yourself as like, we're somebody that knows who we're what we're talking about, they're going to trust you a lot more if you're putting in the work to, put out that information. And then stories is also really important for Instagram because it builds a relationship with you and your audience. If they're seeing content from you every day and something simple like a poll or like a Q&A, stories are always a good way to interact with your audience. So again, like through the polls and the Q&As and then like behind the scenes stuff, it just helps to build that relationship with the audience. And this section shouldn't feel like you're having to put a lot of like strategy behind your stories. It should feel authentic and like practical, like you're just like talking to a friend almost. I feel like that connects and resonates with people a lot more than if you're just like posting strategy. But we'll talk strategy. So these are the things that also perform really well. So having a hook. This is super important for Instagram Reels. If you don't have the first 3 seconds being the most engaging part, then it's probably not going to perform very well. So having something like nobody tells creators this, like some sort of thing to keep people coming back or staying watching longer, perfect, especially within that first 3 seconds, because that's really important. And it has to spark.
Raquel,
Hello,
I had an example here on this one.
go for it.
And funny because we were just talking about parking. Start
Mhm.
your video off with something like, nobody tells this to UTSA freshmen about parking at the main campus. Instantly creates curiosity because we all know that, especially with the short form social media platforms, people who are looking at that content are looking at shorter attention span.
Definitely. Do you want to do the strategy portion?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool.
Um, so for the hook, I mean that pretty much covers, what I wanted to say. For the value or relatability, once you've got their attention, you've got to deliver by educating them, entertaining them, sharing a relatable struggle like a day in the life of a UTSA student. Um, your content should make them feel seen, some kind of way to give an authentic representation. That's kind of what I meant by like relatable. Because when people can connect to the struggle or the honest stories, it becomes more than just a passing highlight reel. Um, and then clear takeaway, you've got to have a clear message and a clear goal. And part of that is making sure you also have a strong call to action, like save this tip for midterms, because it kind of encourages people to go to their calendar and actually add something. Um, you never want to leave your audience hanging, no cliffhangers, because you want to make sure that they know exactly what you want them to do next. You want to make it foolproof. Um, so, for example, like if you shared a great study hack, that's why I liked the save this tip for the midterms thing, because it kind of helps drive engagement. And then the last thing that I wanted to add was a pro tip. This is where your analytics are essential. When you post is really important. So those analytics help you know your audience. For example, if your target audience is going to be other students, if you post something at 10 a.m., when everybody's in class, you're not going to get that engagement you're looking for. By looking at your analytics, if you find out that people are jumping on around 3 o'clock when most classes are out, that would probably be the ideal time to post if that's when your target audience is is going online. And that's the kind of last thing I want to say as part of strategy is knowing your target audience.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. Okay, I am gonna go over a case study next. I was really excited about this portion. So, a brand that I have found that has been really, really successful when it comes to Instagram marketing in particular is a jewelry brand called Hard Jewelry. So, they are very community focused. That has been the biggest point of success within their brand overall. So, I'm going to talk about that today. They don't just sell jewelry, right? They are cultivating a community. And it's a community that people are engaging with, they feel excited about, they feel like they're a part of something. And that is so important when it comes to community or when it comes to Instagram, because Instagram is very community based too. So I'm gonna show you their Instagram page real quick. So this is their page. This is Hard Jewelry. When you scroll down, there is a very clear aesthetic going on, like very clear branding, a very clear message. We know what somebody that wears hard jewelry might be like. They're gonna have a good sense of humor. They are gonna have a certain style that they're probably wearing based off the jewelry and the people that you see there. And you see a lot of the same colors throughout as well. And then what works? So, they again, like I said, they are very community driven, and I want to show you a Discord server that they have. This is another thing that they really push for within their Instagram is for you to join their Discord server. So this is a really cool thing that they did recently to kind of build community is a contest called Ride or Die Daily Winners. So basically what they did is they promoted this all on their Instagram. That's how people are joining their Discord, by the way. And there's like thousands of people on here. But basically what they did is they were giving away $25 gift cards every day to people that talked about who their Valentine or like heart or what is it? The ride or die. Well, whoever the ride or die was, they wrote a little message about and they talked about how that could, I mean, it didn't always have to relate to the jewelry, even just about building community. So we have some of the entries here. So somebody talking about their ride or die, it's their boyfriend. They gave like a whole message there. And if you notice, the jewelry isn't even the main part of this message. It's the community. But the reason that they're doing this is to have the brand identify with community. So that sense of belonging, the sense of being a part of something bigger is associated with hard jewelry now through things like this that they're promoting. So it doesn't always have to be jewelry focused. They have a clear message that is very clear throughout their social media and their Instagram page, which we see here as well. When you go to the comment section, there's actually people engaging in every single post that you go through. Another contest that they're doing, and it has comments of people, talking about how excited they are. They have a drop. That's 4,000 comments on them just suggesting possible jewelry ideas. Like it's very community based. People are constantly engaging with their content no matter what they're posting. And that kind of goes to what I'm saying here with the clear, memorable branding. It's just you can identify, okay, this piece of jewelry is hard jewelry because of their branding, and also that translates really well through their Instagram. It's very clear messaging. And then they also have a key product that they promote throughout all of their platforms. They have picked one product to really, really push, and I feel like that has also been a really key thing in their branding. So, their pinned post right here is that key product. It's their promise ring. I actually have it on right now, so I'll show you. This is what it looks like. And throughout most of their Instagram ads that they promote, this is the first image that you see. When people see this ring, they know it's hard jewelry. And the reason why I bring up this video right here of the promo is because they have it pinned for a reason. That is like their key product. And on top of that, what the owner right here is talking about is the message behind the jewelry. And they have the same thing right here in the description, talking about how it's based off community, it's based off of love, it's more than just a jewelry piece. It's a commitment. That's exactly what he says in the video. So again, a very clear branding, a very clear message identified throughout their accounts and throughout their actual branding. And we'll go ahead and move on. Okay, conclusion. Ultimately, hard jewelry demonstrates that sustained Instagram growth comes from intentional brand voice, consistent community engagement, and content designed to spark interaction. So, again, through the community-based thing, that has been so essential for them, but they took that value and they ran with it, and it has been so successful. They have almost 1 million followers on Instagram. And again, it's not like they're just posting the jewelry. They actually have cultivated a community. They do pop-ups where hundreds of people, even thousands sometimes, come out to the events just to, meet people. And like it's really a community that you see. And again, I feel like that's very clear within their like Discord too. They do like, where is it? Hard fits. So this is people sharing daily their outfits with their hard jewelry or even just cool outfits that they're wearing. And this is something that people are doing every day. As you can see, people are posting this literally within the last like hour or two. So I think that very clearly shows that community is really important, especially when it comes to Instagram. That has been what has pushed them. And I think without that core value of community, they would not have the platform that they have now. So yeah, my final message to y'all is to build community. That is what social media is all about, and that's especially true when it comes to Instagram. You shouldn't really be thinking, how am I going to beat the algorithm? Like it's me versus the algorithm. No, the algorithm is people. That's real people that are engaging with your content. And if you can create a clear message that resonates with people consistently, people are going to follow. People are going to want to engage. People are going to want to follow along. You just have to find what works, what connects with people, and as soon as you find that, just keep going with it, keep true to that message, and you're going to see people engage. And it's no longer going to be you versus an algorithm. It's going to be you with a community of people that have the same goal and message as you. So, yeah. Eric, is there anything you want to add?
I love the ending, build community. That's, I think, probably one of the most important things because you couldn't have said it any better. That we are the algorithm. We're the ones clicking and liking and commenting. So if you focus on those people, then like you said, the algorithm follows. I couldn't say it any better.
Awesome. I hope you guys learned something. I think we're always thinking like me versus the algorithm, but like at the end of the day, it's people. We're just people, sharing and engaging with content. So always keep that in mind when you're making content. And I hope you guys learned something today. Thank you.